Well, folks, today we've got Kevin Evans with us. Kevin is the chair of the Gualala Community Center board, and Kevin's very involved in the plans to rebuild the community center. As you'll remember, there was an unfortunate fire that seriously damaged the community center, and Kevin and the other board members and community members are figuring out how to move forward. So Kevin, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, George, for the invitation. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, tell me, Kevin, the community center, your group has had 2 public meetings thus far. Tell me what went on there and what you're hearing from folks.
Well, we had a great turnout. We had our first public meeting that was held at the Gualala Arts Center. And we had somewhere around 40 people attend. And then we had our second meeting last week at the Sea Ranch and at the Del Mar Center. And we had around 30 to 35 people for that as well. So both of the meetings have been well attended. And we've had a very enthusiastic audience.
Were people throwing out ideas of things, what they'd like to see in a new community center?
Absolutely. What we did is we opened it up to anyone, any of their ideas. We had sheets of paper on the wall, and people could write down their ideas, anything and everything that they would like to see, from the use of the facility to what they would like to see included in the facility. And there was one real feeling that kind of came across from both meetings. And that was, everybody wanted an energy efficient building. They wanted a sustainable design, and they wanted a cost savings building. They wanted to utilize as much technology and resources to make it an affordable building, utilizing today's technology. So that was something we were very happy to hear. Another thought that the public had is that they want to see it a multi-use facility. They want it to be all-inclusive for public and private events. They wanted it to be the home of pay and take. So we're gonna include that in our design to make sure that we accommodate all the different uses that the public is looking for. And more than anything else is to really preserve the history of Gualala.
Yeah.
The building was built in 1954 by volunteers that came out with their little cement mixer and their shovels and they built a facility for the community. And that's what we want to kind of recapture that feeling.
Right. Because there are a lot of local organizations, correct me if I'm wrong here, but my recollection is there are a lot of local organizations who in the past utilized the community center for their meetings and events, and a whole host of people have used the building over the years.
Absolutely. Probably the largest user of the facility was Coastal Seniors, where they would offer weekly meals. It was also a location that they had their Meals on Wheels program, where they delivered meals to people that were homebound, and they would have themed dinners. So they would have a special spaghetti dinner that was kind of a fundraiser for them. And they would also get involved with the annual Thanksgiving feast that we would have at the community center. So it was a second home for Coastal Seniors. And we were happy that we could provide the facility for them. And then our service clubs, the Lions, the Rotary, Sir Optimus, all of them have utilized the facility for either meetings or special events like the crab feed.
Right. Yeah. Boy, those are things we'll all miss if you guys can't get this built. All those events are local things that everyone looks forward to.
Absolutely. So we're hoping to bring that back.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about where you're at in your fundraising. I understand that you had an anonymous donor who gave a $100,000 matching donation, meaning that as other donations came in, they would match dollar for dollar. And is my understanding right? Is that that additional $100,000 has been raised, and so the matching $100,000 put them together, and you've hit the $200,000 mark, and maybe you've surpassed that. Don't know.
We definitely have surpassed that amount. I believe that $100,000 anonymous donor really spearheaded the fundraising campaign. People from all over the community, and actually people that just visit here, that have experienced some event or activity at the community center, felt like they wanted to get involved and help rebuild the community center. So they donated money and through private donations, and we definitely appreciate it. But one of the things that really has been heartwarming for us are individual groups that have come up with fundraising ideas. And one of the recent ones was our art and take, which the local artist community got together, donated pictures, paintings, and put that on sale. We had it on a Saturday, and it was well received. And I can't thank the artist community enough for their work and putting it together. And especially we had three just outstanding ladies in Jackie, Colette, and Nancy that got together with the idea and put it together. And we are the benefactors of their spirit and support. So we appreciate that.
Wow, that's great. That's fantastic. Yeah. And for our viewers, just to remind you, the Art and Take event was kind of a spin-off of Pay and Take, which has been going on at the community center for I don't know how many years. Yeah, it's been going on. And so I think Art and Take is a great twist on that. Same idea. Donations come in, people come and buy things they need, in this case, art. And the community center raises money to keep the center going. Absolutely.
And actually we have one coming up on June 10th.
Is this another art event?
Another Art and Take on June 10th.
Oh, fantastic. Okay,
yes.
June 10th. So folks, write that down. Go take a look at the art and buy some art, right?
Absolutely. And once again, I have to thank the artist community because they really stepped up and contributed beautiful artwork to help in the fundraising efforts for our community center.
Yeah, that's great. Talk to me a little bit about how much you're thinking right now, if you're able to share. What's it going to take? And I understand that construction projects change in price over time, and that's how the world works and everything. But at this point, what do you think the total price tag is going to be if you were going to throw a rough number at it?
Well, we've been tossing that around both in our interviews with the architects and also with our board of directors. And the feeling community-wide right now is that it costs about $700 a square foot to rebuild. And we have a 5,500 square foot building. So we're looking at $3,800,000 to rebuild the building that burned down.
Yeah. And that would replace the same square footage, basically would replace what was there in terms of the amount of square footage on the ground.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
You're not doubling it in size or doing anything like that. Yeah. If I can, and once again, if this isn't public information, I understand. How's the insurance situation? How much of that do you expect them to cover, or do you have that number, or are you free to share it?
Well, we're happy with our insurance coverage, and right now our combined coverage will cover about 2/3 of the cost of the construction right now.
Wow.
So we're happy with that.
That's really positive, I would say.
We're very excited. The board of directors reviewed the insurance policy last year and made sure that we brought it up to current standards. So we're happy we did that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's great.
As you know, with the rising costs of construction and materials, and I have to share that with the public's vision as well, that's going to be a driving factor in the cost of the building, because there's a lot of amenities they would like to see.
Right.
And we would like to include it.
Right. And I'm sure you'll do the best you can with those amenities, and depending on what your budget allowed. There's always, every building project has trade-offs.
Absolutely.
You put as many goodies in as you can, but you can't necessarily do everything you want. That's great. Well, that sounds good. So that's leaving the community center. You've got to raise another $1 million to $1.5 million, something in that neighborhood,
right,
to pull this off. So that's, I would say, that's a doable number. That's not a number you're not going to raise it this week, but with some, well, maybe you are. I don't. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. We don't know who might step up, but with time, I think you can. That sounds like it's a very achievable number. Can you talk to me? I know you're in the process of selecting an architect, and we've got many, just like artists in our coastal community. We've got many architects here. Are you close to selecting one, or can you tell me who you're talking to? Or once again, if that needs to remain confidential, I understand that too.
Well, what we did is we started out just sending out a request to anybody and everybody that would like to submit their name for consideration to be an architect. The rebuilding committee interviewed 9 architects, and I have to share, all of them were outstanding. It was amazing to see the quality and the passion that all 9 had with coming to Gualala and rebuilding our community center. The rebuilding committee did the initial interview, and we've been able to narrow that down to 3 primary choices that we're recommending for the board of directors to interview this coming week, actually.
Okay.
They come from all over. We have one that's from as far south as Los Angeles. We have 4 or 5 that came from the Bay Area. But we've got a lot. It was really a far-reaching campaign. We reached a lot of people, but I have to put the caveat on that many of them have firms in the Bay Area or south of there, actually have residents in the Sea Ranch.
Okay.
So that's what drove them to bid on the project, because they have a love and appreciation for the community center. Sure,
it's a part of their home just as well.
Exactly.
So that's a great thing. So as the board looking, will you look this week? You've got it narrowed down now to 3, and the board will evaluate those 3. Do you expect to make a selection this week, or when will you be able to reveal that information to us?
That'll be up to the board, because we'll have our initial interview with them on this week. They may have additional information that they request from them.
Okay.
So we'll see where they go from there. Once they have all the information that they can make an educated decision on awarding the contract, then we will do so. So I'm going to leave it in their hands and make sure that they're comfortable with their selection.
Right. So in the next little while, we'll be hearing some more news from you whenever that decision is made.
Yeah, we'd like to definitely award a contract sometime in June.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Last question for you, Kevin. We've been talking about the money and how people have been contributing. Right now, what can anyone in the community do to help this effort, to help the community center move forward?
A great question. Obviously, private donations are always great. If anybody has any leads on grants that we can maybe look at, we'll definitely entertain any of those, any grant ideas. And if anybody has any fundraising ideas,
Okay.
A couple that are floating around now. I heard from a couple musicians that would like to have a fundraising concert.
Great idea.
Yeah. So
Great idea.
I think we're finding specialty groups that are trying to rally their support base, whether it be the artists or musicians or other groups that are coming up with unique and exciting ideas to hold a fundraising event. And I think that will reach out to the community in many ways. And yeah, it will be a great fundraising idea.
Yeah. So if somebody is inclined right now, and I'm sure all the viewers are so inclined, if somebody wants to make a donation right now, what's the easiest way for them to do that?
They can go online to the Gualala CC at, I'm not sure, I can get that to you.
Okay.
But the Gualala Community Center website,
Yeah.
There is a link there that they can make an online donation.
Okay, so I can just click and donate any amount that I wish to.
Absolutely. And it is
Fantastic.
it is a tax deductible because we are a 501c3.
Wonderful, wonderful. Kevin, I sure appreciate your time and bringing us up to date on what's been going on. Sounds like a lot of great ideas, and you're making great progress in raising the money and in finding your design and construction team, putting that together. And just appreciate your time and wish you guys continued good luck.
Thank you, George, so much. And I appreciate you getting the word out to the community.
Absolutely. Thanks a bunch, Kevin.
Thank you. Have a great day.